There's people in it. Oh my God, there's so many people in it. Please tell me you're getting this on video. Yeah, it's over.
Oh my God, oh my God. Oh no. Oh my God. What the? Oh no.
Get out! Get out of your car!
Oh my God.
Texas was slammed by one of its deadliest flash floods in recent memory as torrential rain overwhelmed rivers and communities across the hill country. Rainfall totals surged far beyond forecasts, with up to 15 inches falling in less than 24 hours, and no region harder hit than the Guadalupe River corridor.
6:08 a.m. Guadalupe River at Nimitz Dam on Guadalupe Street.
In towns like Hunt and Kerrville, water levels exploded in a matter of minutes, with the Guadalupe River rising nearly 29 feet in just 45 minutes. Residents had little time to react as walls of water crashed through neighborhoods, sweeping away homes, vehicles, and camps in the dark.
It looks like the railroad just broke.
That is the river.
The bridge just broke.
1812 Coke Street. Still waiting on water rescue. If anyone has any boats or jet skis to help us get my in-laws and the other elderly on the road out.
Guadalupe River. This is 173. Not good.
The disaster was fueled by remnant moisture from Tropical Storm Barry, which collided with local weather patterns to produce a deluge no model fully predicted. While a flood watch had been issued, it greatly underestimated the magnitude of what was to come. Several counties saw flash flood emergencies issued in rapid succession, yet many affected families said they received no alerts or were unable to act in time. Communication systems were disrupted early, and many relied on neighbors or social media for updates. By the time water began to recede, the devastation was clear. At least 32 lives were lost, including 14 children, and dozens more remained missing across towns like Ingram, Comfort, and Travis County. Hundreds were displaced, and injuries were widespread.
Y'all, look at this. Oh my God. It's crazy. Drove over to this parking lot that has this lookout. There's other people here doing
Among the hardest-hit locations was Camp Mystic, a historic Christian girls' camp near Hunt, where floodwaters tore through cabins and swelled above buildings as campers slept. Rescue efforts unfolded in chaos as parents waited in anguish for word of their daughters.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Tragically, several children were confirmed dead from the camp, including Renee Smeistler, Sarah Marsh, Janie Hunt, and Lila Bonner, along with longtime director Dick Eastland. Their names became symbols of heartbreak across Texas.
Y'all think getting the car a little wet is worth it? Because they could see it better.
Oh my gosh.
This used to be a campground. These are all campsites. You can see the pipes for the RV sewage.
Roughly 27 campers and staff from Mystic were reported missing at the peak of the emergency, prompting a massive multi-agency response. Rescuers worked against time, navigating submerged roads and twisted debris to reach the isolated campgrounds.
Yeah.
We are having major floods in Kerrville, Texas. Look at this stuff. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
In total, over 800 people were evacuated from the region, including 237 airlifted by helicopter. Boats, helicopters, and even drones scoured riverbanks for survivors, with responders pulling people from treetops and collapsed structures throughout the day. One woman and her son survived by clinging to a tree for hours as floodwaters filled their home. Elsewhere, campers filmed terrifying scenes of water surging under cabins and cars being dragged away by the current as screams echoed in the background.
San Gabriel Park. This is incredible. The crossover path that you cross.
The operation drew in over 1,000 personnel, including the National Guard, FEMA, and U.S. Coast Guard teams. 14 helicopters hovered above ravaged communities as rescuers braved dangerous currents to retrieve the stranded. Governor Greg Abbott declared a disaster across multiple counties, calling the flooding catastrophic and urging the public to treat all missing persons as potentially alive. He emphasized that rescue remained the state's top priority.
Away from that flash flood.
Holy shit, this is crazy. Me, wow.
President Trump offered prayers to the victims and pledged federal aid, while Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem described the response as unprecedented. Despite support, critics questioned how such tragedy struck so many with so little warning.
Anthony, look at this. I feel so bad for him. Yeah, but you see over there?
Accusations quickly followed, targeting the adequacy of forecasting and evacuation protocols in a region long known for flash flood risks. AccuWeather and local leaders alike noted the disparity between forecasted rain and the storm's true force.
Man, it looks like the ocean.
Infrastructure was decimated. Roads collapsed, bridges vanished, and neighborhoods were cut off entirely. Power outages affected thousands, and emergency communication relied heavily on Starlink systems and satellite tools to stay online.
Anyway, that's the Guadalupe River. It's way high. My house was flooded.
Street. Everyone downstream. Save your life.
As the flood watch remained in place, further storms threatened already fragile ground. Flash flooding was still a danger for the region from San Antonio to Austin, as new systems were forecast to drop more rain through the week.
It was all full too. All those RVs are downriver, stuck on trees like that one.
Get some buckets, and they're using that as a staging area for rescue vehicles, personnel.
Despite chaos, support flowed in. Donations arrived from pro-sports teams, churches, and local communities. Emotional and spiritual support was as vital as financial help as survivors faced the long road to rebuilding. The loss was particularly painful due to the number of children affected. Many had come to the hill country for summer joy and never returned, leaving behind families and communities broken by grief and unanswered questions.
4th of July, they already closed the park. This is Kerrville, Texas.
The river is completely covered.
What unfolded in Texas was not just a natural disaster. It was a moment of reckoning for how communities prepare, how alerts are issued, and how fast rising water can change lives forever. And as the state recovers, the memories will not fade.
This is 1431 at Post Oak Creek. The water completely washed this area out. You see those large trees over there in the corner. The guardrail was taken out by those guys.